Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is May 13th. Paul Skenes made his debut, and I fell myself down a rabbit hole of some what-if players. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today? I hope you all had a very enjoyable weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there for bringing their kids to baseball practice, and of course all the other moms as well who weren't involved in baseball. But yeah, that happened yesterday. We have some good moments from across the league. As well as some other things. Of course, Paul Skenes made his debut Saturday. We're going to be doing a deep dive into that alongside some other things here. But yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right in it and get going into our series recap. Starting things off, we have the D-backs and the Oilers would jump up to a 2-run lead in the second. They wouldn't lose it from there, adding a run each time the D-backs scored a run. They take the opener 4-2. Ketel Marte would hit his second home run of the series as he homered in the first game as well in the second game. That gives the D-backs the lead, but some solo shots later from Baltimore, Gunnar Henderson, Anthony Santander, that ties it up. We head to extras. We're in the 11th. It's Jordan Westberg, the hero, the walk-off single. Baltimore takes another one in walk-off fashion, 5-4. Jake McCarthy homers for the first time this year. And that starts a 6-run 6th inning that would finish off Baltimore. The D-backs take that game. They avoid the sweep and win the last game 9-2. Nationals and Red Sox now. The Nats score 3 runs in the first 3 innings, and it's a nice start from Patrick Corbin. Yes, that Patrick Corbin. The Nationals win the opener. They beat Boston 5-1. Joey Meneses hits home run number 1 on the year. Good for him. Eddie Rosario joins him a home run later on. Meanwhile, Wilyer Abreu goes deep for Boston. Rafael Devers delivers the big go-ahead 2-run double in the 8th. Boston gets the win, evens up the series 4-2. And in the final game, it's 3 runs in the second for Boston, and that was all they would need. The Nats only got a 2-run home run from Eddie Rosario, his 5th of the year. The Red Sox take the rubber match and 2 of 3 from the Nationals. They win it 3-2. Yankees and Rays now, and Rizzo does it all for game 1 as the 2 runs both came off of his bat, an RBI single, and later his 7th home run of the year, a solo shot as the Yankees take the first game 2-0. Game 2, it's Yandy Diaz with the leadoff home run for Tampa to start this game off. Randy Arozarena later, a clutch 3-run shot. Tampa comes back and evens up the series with the win 7-2. Jose Siri hits a grand slam in this game. Yandy Diaz hits another home run in the series, but the Yankees would not be stopped. Jemiah Jones hits his first home run of the year, followed with Jose Trevino, who had 2 homers in this game. Aaron Judge hits number 10, and don't forget about Gleyber Torres. The Yankees combined for 5 home runs in the game. That leads them to the win. They take 2 of 3 from the Tampa Bay Rays. They win it 10-6. Twins in Toronto now taking on the Blue Jays. IKF would homer in this one. That would tie the game up, but it's Carlos Santana who homers for the Twins to get them the lead. He gets hit in the head by the home run sausage that they've been carrying around. It comes down to the last out with the runner on third, but the Twins do hold on. They win this game and beat the Jays 3-2. Game 2, the Twins led in this one at a point, 7-1, a 6-run lead. Carlos Santana hits another home run in this game. That lone Blue Jays run came off the bat of Bo Bichette, his 2nd of the year, or at least it was a lone run. But all of a sudden, here comes Toronto. Davis Schneider goes deep. Then it's Danny Jansen with the home run. Bases loaded, Vlad comes up and hits a clutch game-tying single that scores 2. Vlad was 4 for 5 in this one. The Jays come back down from 6 in a much-needed win, hoping to spark something for them. They win it 10-8. And the final game, Bailey Ober and Alec Manoa were in a bit of a pitcher's duel until the 7th, where it's Carlos Santana again, a 3-run shot as he homered in all 3 games of this series. The Twins take 2 of 3 from Toronto and win the last game 5-1. Guardians and White Sox now. It's a 4-game set here, and it starts with the White Sox scoring 3 runs in the first 2 innings. Their pitchers hold the Guardians to 2 solo shots back-to-back from Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. The White Sox take the first game. They win it 3-2. Game 2, the White Sox get a trio of home runs from Corey Lee, Paul DeYoung, and Andrew Vaughn, who gets his first of the year. They take another one 6-3. The Guardians continuing to struggle in this series offensively, as their only run here was a Josh Naylor home run, his second of the series. The White Sox, though, take a 3rd straight game over the Guardians. They win it 3-1. And finally, in the last game of the series, it's Guardians time. Andres Jimenez, David Fry both go deep. They shut out the White Sox, but shout out to the White Sox, who just took 3 of 4 from the Guardians. However, Cleveland avoids the sweep. They win the last game 7-0. Tigers and Astros now. Kyle Tucker continues his tear as he hits another home run to get the Astros scoring started. They would come back with 4 runs in the 8th. The Astros hand Detroit the loss late as they beat them 5-2. For game 2, it's Mark Canha with the grand slam. Kerry Carpenter hits 2 home runs in this game. It's all Tigers. They even the series up with the win 8-2. And for the rubber match, Kyle Tucker again another home run. The Astros score 9 runs in the last 4 innings of this one. Spencer Torkelson homers for the first time of the year, but the Astros do come away with it. They take 2 of 3 from Detroit and win it 9-3. Royals and Angels, and it's another 4-game set in this one here between these two teams, and it's a couple of home runs from Dairon Blanco and Vinny Pasquantino. Vinny Pasquantino. The Royals would only add on from there. They take it 10-4. What was looking like a 1-0 lead for the Angels thanks to Joe Adell changed in the 9th as the Royals, down to the last 2 outs, had Adam Frazier step up and hit a 2-run home run, his first of the year and first as a Royal. That gives them the lead. Kansas City steals one late from the Halos. They win it 2-1. The Angels, though, in 3rd game, get to Cole Reagan, 7 runs off of him. Joe Adell, a 3-run home run. Kevin Pillar, 3 RBIs. Logan O'Hoppe, 2 RBIs. The Angels get that win 9-3. And then it's Seth Lugo, who has been brilliant all year round, and he looks good again here today. He records a career-high 12 strikeouts in 8 innings of work. Remember when this guy was just a relief pitcher? What an amazing start from Lugo. The Royals were in the lead. They take 3 of 4 from the Angels in this series. They take the last game 4-2. The Oakland A's and the Seattle Mariners now, and it's a big day for Dylan Moore to start this series off. He was 3 for 4 with 5 RBIs, including a 2-run home run for his 3rd of the year. His great game elevates Seattle for the win. They take it 8-1. The big dumper, Kyle Raleigh, hits his 10th of the year, and after that, it's all Oakland as they score 8 unanswered runs, including JJ Bleday and his 5th home run of the year. Oakland gets the game back. They win it 8-1. And then it's a rubber match filled with home runs here. Max Schumann, Abraham Toro, and Brent Rooker all homer for Oakland. And then for Seattle, it's Julio, Mitch Garver, and Sebi Zavala. For Seattle, of course, it's his first of the year and first as a Mariner. A 4-run second inning, though, for Seattle before that home run party would help them get the win. Seattle takes 2 of 3 from Oakland. They beat them 8-4. Braves and Mets now, and the Braves hit 3 home runs in the same inning as Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, and Matt Olson all go deep in the inning. That leads the Braves to the win. They take it 4-2. Max Fried was amazing in the second game. He goes 7 innings without allowing a hit, and then Joe Jimenez pitches the 8th and still no hits, and then all of a sudden The Mets are 1 out away from being no-hit. Rafael Iglesias looking to get the combined no-hitter for the Braves. 1 out away, and it's a pitch that is swung on deep to right, and all of a sudden the no-hitter was gone. The shutout was gone. JD Martinez spoils it for the Braves. He hits his first home run of the year and first as a Met to save them from being no-hit. Regardless, a great pitching performance for the Braves, and they take another game against the Mets. They win it 4-1. And for the final game, again, the Braves would have something ruined for them in the 9th inning. The last game was the no-hitter. This game, it was victory itself. The Mets, trailing by 1, would win it after Brandon Nimmo connected for a 2-run walk-off home run. His 6th of the year wins it for the Mets. They avoid the sweep and win the last game on walk-off fashion 4-3. Phillies and Marlins now, and it's Nick Castellanos and Johan Rojas who both homer for Philly as Ranger Suarez continues to shove each start he takes. Phillies, they take it 8-2. Game 2, Vidal Brujan got the scoring start with his first home run of the year, but then Philly scored 4 in the 6th and followed that with 4 more in the 8th. They end up with the win as they beat Miami 8-3. And this was a fun back and forth to round off the series. Nick Castellanos and Josh Bell both homer for their respective teams. We were at the end of 9 and it was not enough, so into the 10th we go. Emmanuel Rivera would be the walk-off hero for the Marlins. His single gets the winning run. Miami takes it in extras on a walk-off to avoid the sweep. They beat the Phillies 7-6. Cubs and Pirates now. Cody Bellinger homers. The Cubs score 4 in the 7th. They win it 7-2. Yada, yada, yada. Let's get the people what they really want. Saturday, Paul Skenes Day, his debut, and he starts his career off with a strikeout followed by another strikeout before the 2-out walk and then a flyout to end his first inning in the big leagues. His day started well, but his final line finished a bit rough. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 Ks. For the baseball side of things, Connor Joe and O'Neal Cruz go back-to-back, both going deep. Nico Horner and Michael A. Taylor, not known home run hitters, also go deep in this one. The Cubs score 4 runs on walks. Very ugly for the Pirates. An MLB team should not let that happen. Yasmani Grandal, he homers his first of the year, and it wouldn't be a complete game without Andrew McCutcheon going deep as well. What a day in Pittsburgh. The Pirates, they win it 10-9. And in the final game, it's Christopher Morel and O'Neal Cruz who homer in this one. We end up tied, needing extras, where the Cubs scored 3 runs with the help of a Patrick Wisdom home run. The Pirates would try answering with a 2-run shot from Connor Joe, but they fall a run short. Cubs win it in extras, take 2 of 3 from the Pirates. They win it 5-4. Cardinals and Brewers now. It's a 4-game set between these two, and game 1 was really all Brewers. Hoskins, Jake Bowers, Joey Ortiz all going deep. That leads to the Brewers win. They take it 7-1. Robert Gasser is on the mound for the Brewers, making his major league debut, and he would pitch great with 6 strong shutout innings. Meanwhile, a 5-run 5th and a 4-run 7th adds up for the Brewers, who win another one 11-2. The difference in this 3rd game came off the bat of Rhys Hoskins, who hit the go-ahead 3-run home run in the 7th, putting the Brewers in the lead and getting them a 3rd straight win as they take it 5-3. And on a day with a struggling Paul Goldschmidt homers, the Cardinals had to win that game, and they would. They avoid the 4-game sweep to the Brewers and win the last game 4-3. Reds and Giants now. When you're up by 1 and you need an insurance run late, there's no better way to do that than an inside-the-park home run. I mean, there probably is, but that's what happened in this game, as Stuart Fairchild and his inside-the-park home run gave the Reds the insurance run. The Reds take the opener. They beat the Giants 4-2. For Game 2, it's Matt Chapman's first inning grand slam. That's all the Giants would need. The Reds only scored 1 run on an Ellie De La Cruz home run. The Giants even the series. They win it 5-1. final game, Lamont Wade Jr. homers for the Giants, Mike Ford homers for the Reds. We need extras, and it's the Giants, and more specifically, Casey Schmidt, who wins it, with Schmidt getting the walk-off ground rule double. They win it. San Fran takes 2 of 3 from the Reds. They win that last game 6-5. Dodgers and Padres, what a series this turned out to be. After some great pitching performances from Michael King and Tyler Glasnow, it's Luis Arias who got to be the hero in his first home game as a Padre in Petco Park. He would get the walk-off on the Dodgers, a single, as he continues to fix himself up and help San Diego in the process. They take the first game 2-1. The only scoring in this one was on 2 Dodger home runs, a Freddie Freeman solo shot and a Teoscar Hernandez grand slam. James Paxton pitched great, and the Dodgers even the series with the win 5-0. And now it's Yu Darvish's turn to pitch great, as he is amazing. He shuts down the Dodgers. Tatis and Cronenworth go back-to-back, and they're later joined by the X-Man Xander Bogaerts. The 3 Padres solo shots were more than enough, as the Padres, it's their turn to blank the Dodgers. They win it, take 2 of 3 from them. In the process, they take it 4-0. And lastly, now we have the Rangers and the Rockies. The difference in the opener came in the 8th, where the game tied. It's Charlie Blackmon delivering the 2-run double to put the Rockies in the lead. They take the first game, beating the Rangers in the opener 4-2. Hunter Goodman homers in this one, and then the Rockies scored 6 runs in the 7th to put this one out of reach, as they take another one 8-3. And in the final game, it's Ezekiel Tovar, whose home run is the difference in this last game, as the worst team off of record in the Colorado Rockies just swept the defending World Series champs in the Texas Rangers, and there is nothing more baseball than that. The Rockies sweep the Rangers, win it 3-1. Now on to our game of the weekend, and it would have been the Paul Skenes debut because that was a hell of a game, but we will be talking about that a little bit more in depth. So I decided to go with the Blue Jays comeback on Saturday. They're taking on the Twins, and it's all Minnesota early. 3 runs in the first off of a Correa single, and then a 2-run Alex Kirilloff single. Then that takes us to the top of the second, where it's a single from Trevor Lenarche, who makes it a 4-0 game. Bottom second, Bo Bichette, home run number 2 on the year, makes it 4-1 Minnesota. Then top 3, Carlos Santana's 6th of the year. He had a home run in all 3 games in this series. That makes it 7-1 Minnesota. Bottom 3 now, it's a Dalton Varsho double. That makes it 7-2, followed by a Vladdy Guerrero Jr. single, making it 7-3 as Blue Jays start to kind of rear their heads back in a little bit. Top 4, Ryan Jeffers, home run number 9 on the year. That makes it 8-3 Twins, a 5-run lead. Then here we go. Bottom 5, Davis Schneider, home run number 4. That makes it 8-4. Same inning, 2-run shot for Danny Jansen, his 4th of the year. That makes it 8-6. We head now to the bottom of the 6th, where the bases loaded. Vlad delivers the 2-run single, 2-run score. It makes it 8-8. We are tied. Bottom 7, the bases loaded again. It's Ernie Clement with the single, 1-run scores. It's 9-8. And then after that, it's a Davis Schneider sac fly. That makes it 10-8 Toronto. That would be your final. Romano gets to save. Blue Jays take it 10-8. Come back 6 runs down from 7-1 to take the win. That is your game of the weekend. Alrighty, now let's talk about Mr. Paul Skenes and his debut. Of course, we know the stat line: 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. But he looked good. Let's be honest. I know it's not the prettiest stat line in the world, but he did look good. He threw a ball 100 miles an hour or over 17 times in the game. And I mean, it started off with heat. The first batter he faced, Mike Tauchman, he did a 101 fastball for a ball, a 101 fastball for a foul ball. Then he threw a slider at 87. then a swinging strike on the four-seamer at 100, then a 100-mile-an-hour ball, and then a 100-mile-an-hour foul-tip strikeout. Catcher caught it, and that was your first strikeout of his career. He threw 6 pitches in that at-bat, 5 of which over 100 miles an hour. So impressive for a strikeout. Then Seiya comes in, and let's be honest, Seiya should have taken the day off on this at bat. Called strike 1 on the splitter, called strike 2 on a slider, and then another slider. I mean, that's so unfair for Seiya, because you're sitting in the foul box, you're watching 100-mile-an-hour blow past Mike Tauchman, and then you have to step in, and you get a 95.9, so basically a 96-mile-an-hour splitter, and then 2 sliders, and you're completely. He looked like a fool this at bat. 1, 2, 3 punch out for Skenes there. He hit Nico Horner with a pitch, walked Michael Busch. This was in the 2nd inning now. It was a really interesting game overall, of course. The scoring got started in the bottom of the 3rd. Connor Joe's 4th home run of the year, followed by O'Neal Cruz with his 6th of the year. That made it 4-0. Then top 4, really the only run that kind of got Paul Skenes was Nico Horner. His 2nd home run of the year came in the 4th, and the first run that Skenes gave up in his career. It wasn't too bad there. Then in the bottom of the 4th, Michael Taylor, a 2-run shot, his first of the year, makes it 6-1 Pittsburgh. We get to the top of the 5th. Tauchman then finally gets to Skenes. He'll double. Seiya will single. So you got 2 runners on, and that would end Skenes' night. But of course, you're only saying, hey, it's only the 1 run. Like, where'd everything else go? Well, this top 5 is where the Cubs scored 7 runs. Kyle Nicholas comes in, strikes out Bellinger for the first out, strikes out Morel for the 2nd out. So, okay, you go strikeout, you're going to get out of the inning. He then hits Ian Happ to load the bases, and then here's the walk parade. He walks Nico Horner to make it 6-2, walks Michael Busch, makes it 6-3, walks Miles Mastrobuoni to make it 6-4. He gets replaced by Josh Fleming, and what does he do? He walks Yohan Gomes to make it 6-5. So that's 4 now straight at-bats where walks were given up with the bases loaded. That shouldn't happen. Then Mike Tauchman comes up again. He'll single in a run to make it 6-6. It goes in a slight rain delay, comes out. Then guess what? 2 more walks. Seiya Suzuki walks in a run. Cody Bellinger, back-to-back, walks in another run. So that is now 6 runs that the Pirates gave to the Cubs in that inning before getting Nick Madrigal to line out to end it. But a 7-run inning where 6 of them came on bases-loaded walks by the Pirates' hand. That's just downright ugly. That tied the game also. That took the lead for the Cubs. They went from being down 6-1 to coming back and scoring 7 runs, making it 8-6. But then a 3-run shot for Yasmani Grandal, his first of the year, makes it 9-8. And then, of course, Andrew McCutchen's home run makes it 10-8. That would be your final almost, because in the top of the 9th, the Cubs do get 1 run on a Mike Tauchman sac fly before this game finished. But it was a crazy game. It was an amazing game overall. I mean, I got to watch this one. It was a great game. The Grandal home run, and of course, Skenes' debut was really great. Take away those walks in the 5th inning, and he only gave up 1 run in the first 4 innings. But yeah, you have to be careful with Skenes as well, because, when you're throwing 100 miles an hour like that so consistently, injuries will happen. But at the end of the day, it was a good debut. Pirates fans showed up. It was a great day in Pittsburgh. And definitely one that if you missed it, go check out the highlights at least. If not, watch back the game, because it was a really exciting game, I would say. So that is the Paul Skenes debut. And we'll see him in, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I think Thursday is his next game here. Let's see if I can do a quick double check here. It should be Thursday if all things go according to plan. Potentially Friday. But either way, the Pirates are playing the Cubs in Wrigley now, so he'll still get to face the same team. So we'll see how Paul Skenes will make his adjustments, or will the Cubs make some adjustments and get to Skenes some more. Keep that in mind. Alrighty, now let's do a little talk here about the City Connect jerseys that have been shown off here. Of course, the Tigers got to debut theirs. We've had a couple good ones this year, a couple ones, and we're getting a new one because Cleveland has unveiled their City Connect jerseys. And if I'm being honest, it is as mediocre as mediocre gets. Cleveland, if you're a Cleveland fan, sound off in the chat, please, because I mean the stitching of the jersey and like the letter schemes of it, I'm sure when you go and like nitpick the details of the jersey, I'm sure it's very nice and Cleveland fans maybe are happy with the jersey, but for me it is kind of basic. I like the pinstripes kind of on the side, not pinstripes, but like the stripes on the side going from the shoulders through their pants all the way to the bottom there. I think that's really cool. I do like the lettering and like kind of like, the way the middle of the jersey looks. If you haven't seen the jersey, go take a look at it so you know what I'm talking about. But overall, I don't think this is a great City Connect. We've definitely had better. But they're not the only ones that were shown because, or not really, they were leaked and then they were shown by Major League and have been officially debuted. The Dodger ones apparently have also been leaked. Their new City Connect. Of course, the Dodgers will be the first one with two. Their first one was awful. Probably the worst, it's the worst City Connect we'll ever have. I'm glad they're doing a second one because that one was so awful. But if I'm being honest, there was a leak of what their potential second City Connect jersey will look like, and it looks just as mediocre and unforgettable as the first one. I mean, is it better? Absolutely. Like, there is no way they could have made a shittier jersey. But even this second one, I mean, it looks like ice cream. Like, the jersey, the lettering is nice. The Los Angeles kind of looks they have a nice line stripe through it. But it's just a white jersey with like red and blue like dots. Like, it looks like sprinkles on an ice cream cone. Like, I don't know what this one is either, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, the City Connects are either hits or misses, and the Dodgers might have just swung and missed twice because those aren't great. But we'll see when they officially get released. Maybe it was just some other jersey that is being shown around Twitter or X. But if that is the City Connect jersey for the Dodgers, 0 for 2, and that sucks. Alrighty, I want to spend a couple minutes here just doing sharing something that I kind of brought myself into on Saturday, I believe. Going through baseball references, big stretch for me here. I was looking at some players who, have been struggling from the last couple of years even, and I wanted to make a team here of just players that these days aren't the same hitters and players they once were. So I wanted to make a team and pick some of those players who right now probably have awful numbers, not doing great, and go and pick their best years and put together a team and see how good it could be. So I picked two starting pitchers here. First one, Alek Manoah from 2022. Of course, Manoah's fall off in the last 2 years has been drastic, but remember, he finished top 3 in Cy Young voting in that year, and he looked amazing and potentially the next Blue Jays ace. And then Patrick Corbin. I mean, Patrick Corbin has fleeced the Nationals out of some money. But specifically in 2018, he was fantastic. 2019, he was also great, helped them win the World Series. He got a nice extension, got the bag, and then from there, he really hasn't been the same either. So those two guys, those 2 years, put them on your team. That's your 1-2 punch there. My catcher is Yasmani Grandal from 2019. Since joining the White Sox, he was not really the same. Every year kind of getting worse and worse. This year with Pittsburgh, of course, he's been in AAA mostly, catching Paul Skenes. He got, called up with, or he got called up. He got brought back into the majors with Paul Skenes for Saturday. He played, of course, and homered. So good signs there, but hopefully he can, his days with the Dodgers and Brewers were his glory days. 2019 with the Brewers, though, his best year of his career. Josh Bell, he's had a really tough start to the year. He's definitely not like the worst hitter right now on this list of players here. He had a nice 2021 kind of with the Nationals, Padres, even with other teams. He's been good, but with Miami, he's definitely struggled a little bit this year. So I just had to throw him on. His 2019 with the Pirates was the best year of Josh Bell. I loved Josh Bell that year. He was probably my favorite first baseman that year. So bring him in. Then at second base, I wanted to put Javi Baez there because I have another shortstop in mind. Of course, Javi Baez came into the league as a second baseman. I'm choosing his 2018 year. I feel like that was his best year of his career. But of course, Baez, with the Cubs was something super special. They traded him, Rizzo, and Bryant. And, his little time with the Mets wasn't awful, but then he signed a nice contract with the Tigers, and that's where he's really been awful. I mean, if we've had Javi Baez from his Cub days, Javi Baez in 2018, if those are the numbers he was still putting up with the Tigers would be first in the division. The Tigers might have made the postseason last year. Like, the Tigers team could be so much better with a good Javier Baez. They don't have that, and we're hoping, what if he will have that one day? You'll never know. At third base, I have Anthony Rendon from 2019. Of course, same thing, amazing with the Nationals. He helped them win the World Series. He was just one of the most underrated hitters year in, year out, putting up some outstanding numbers. Signs a crazy contract with the Angels, and he's been irrelevant since. You have to wonder what if there. That one hurts. Tim Anderson is my shortstop. I love Tim Anderson. I wish Tim nothing but the best. But 2021, he was fantastic. Remember that home run in the Field of Dreams game? That White Sox team was so good for so short of a time period. They could have had a crazy run if things went right for them. They didn't. Tim Anderson is now a really bad player with Miami. He's trying to figure things out. Hopefully he can get something going, but it's been a struggle street for him the last couple of years. My outfielders, Chris Bryant, of course, 2016 with the Cubs. Starling Marte hasn't been awful, but his 2021 was definitely something special that he hasn't been able to repeat. And then Andrew Benintendi with the Red Sox, 2018. Those are my outfield spots. Of course, Chris Bryant, since joining the Rockies, has been bad. Tough go at things. Of course, Chris Bryant's had such a hot, electric start to his career with the Cubs, debuting in, 15, 16. His early years with the Cubs were his best years, and really he's gone down ever since. Still putting up good numbers with the Cubs in like 18 and 19, but once he got traded to the Giants and now with the Rockies, he definitely hasn't been the same. Injuries have gotten to him. It's been tough. Marte has been a great player with the Pirates. He saw big ups when his time was short spans in like Oakland and Diamondbacks. But since joining the Mets, really, he hasn't been the same starting Marte. He has his moments, but he's really not the same. And of course, Andrew Benintendi spent some time with the Royals. He's now with the White Sox. He's struggled since, but his Boston Red Sox days were the best days of his career by far, and you wonder if he'll ever be able to get that back. And lastly here I have a DH, and it is Giancarlo Stanton. Now he is not bad, he's much slower, definitely gets hit with some injury bugs here and there, but his 2017 MVP year, just imagine if he stayed in Miami in the heat with that weather. How many more home runs would he have? Instead, he went for the short porch in New York, and he's had a lot of great moments there, but he's also struggled at times. And you have to wonder what could have been if Stanton stayed in Miami. That is my what-if team. I kind of fell myself into this little hole of creating this team, but I think I really like it. And, you put each of these guys back in their best years, this is a team that would make playoffs, would make the DS and the CS, and potentially win the World Series. I mean, all these guys to the best levels. I mean, what do we have here? We have Chris Bryant, an MVP, Giancarlo Stanton, an MVP, Manoah, a top 3 finisher, and Cy Young. We probably have like a good 5 to 10 silver sluggers on the list, a gold glove in Marte. Like it is a great team that could have been assembled here, but of course right now all these guys combined probably have a worse war than like Mike Trout and Gunnar Henderson and whoever you want to say. But tough go at things. Hopefully these guys will eventually figure something out and right their careers back on track. All right, now let's power through the rest of the stuff here, starting off with our hot and colds. And there's no one hotter right now than Kyle Tucker. Only 4 for 17, but all 4 of those hits were home runs. He's got 4 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs, 6 walks, and a 1.376 OPS. Following him, it's a couple of twins. Max Kepler, 10 for 25, 6 doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs, 6 runs, a 1.183 OPS. And Carlos Santana, it helps when you homer in all 3 games of the weekend. He's 7 for 21 with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 5 runs, and a 1.201 OPS. Aaron Judge from your Yankees is here, 7 for 21, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 5 runs, 5 walks, a 1.338 OPS. And then Nick Castellanos, he's 8 for 23, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 runs, a 1.183 OPS. Looking now at the cold players, leading things off, it's Adolis Garcia from your Rangers, 3 for 28 with 12 strikeouts, not great there. Blake Perkins from your Brewers, 0 for 21 with 8 Ks. It's been a while since we've had an 0 for a whole week, not a single hit for him. Jake Berger from your Finns, 2 for 25 with 6 strikeouts. Ty France from your Mariners, 3 for 22 with 9 strikeouts. And Jose Altuve. Kyle Tucker gets hot, Jose Altuve gets cold. It's been the Astros this year. He's 3 for 21 with 7 Ks. That is your hot and cold. Now looking at our injury updates, we have Dansby Swanson from your Cubs. He's on the IL with a sprained knee. And then Michael Conforto, one of the best things about the Giants this year, he's on the IL. He's got a strained hamstring. Hoping for the best with these 2 guys. Hopefully their 10 days will come and go and they'll be back with their respective teams helping out. Giants certainly need Conforto back, and Dansby Swanson in the Cubs lineup will definitely help them out as well. Moving on now, we're going to our outstanding performances, and we had a nice list of guys here. Garrett Crochet, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 11 strikeouts there. Ranger Suarez is always going to be outstanding, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks. How about Charlie Morton? Uncle Charlie still doing it, 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 7 Ks. Robert Gasser, in his MLB debut for the Brewers, he had a nice start. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. The pitching duel between Michael King and Tyler Glasnow. Michael King, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. Tyler Glasnow, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts. Both those guys were great. Max Fried, of course, so close for the no-hitter. 7 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks. James Paxton was great for the Dodgers. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks. Bailey Ober on Mother's Day, 6.1 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 10 strikeouts. Justin Verlander, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, vintage Verlander. Yu Darvish, 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 7 Ks. And then rounding things off, Seth Lugo, a career-high 12 strikeouts, 8 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, and no walks. He was fantastic. He's going to continue to be fantastic for your Kansas City Royals. Now taking a look at our standings check here, and not too much has changed from the week to week in the AL East. Baltimore is still running things half a game up on the Yankees. Boston in third, Tampa in fourth, and the Blue Jays still in fifth, 4 games back of 500 and 8.5 on the division. The AL Central, the Guardians played 3 of 4 against the White Sox. Not great for them, but they're still half a game up on both the Twins and the Royals. The Twins and Royals are pretty much all right there with the Guardians. Tigers a few games out. They're in fourth at 500 at 20-20, and the White Sox sit in fifth. The AL West, Seattle's half a game up on the Rangers, so a close battle there. Oakland's faltered a little bit. They're at 19-23, still in third though. Astros at 15-25 after their first 40 games. They need to step on the gas soon. Angels in last. The NL East still has the Phillies up on the Braves. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10 and 2 games up on the Braves. Mets and Nats are tied right now, 19-20, and then the Marlins 11-31. Dead last. Their year is over. NL Central, the Brewers are still in the lead, half a game up on the Cubs. Pirates in third now after the Reds' struggles have continued. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They need to get going soon because they have fallen off hard. But luckily, the Cardinals are still somehow in last at 16-24. Surprise there. And lastly, in the NL West, the Dodgers are still in first, 8-2 in their last 10. Despite losing 2 of 3 for the Padres, the Padres sit in second, still 5.5 back on the Dodgers. And I think we've gone to a point where the Dodgers have officially cleared at 5.5 games, and they're only going to increase their lead from there. Diamondbacks and Giants still trying to figure something out. They're tied right now, 19 wins each. 22 losses for the Diamondbacks, 23 for the Giants. Diamondbacks half a game up on them. Rockies 12-28, dead last in your NL West. That is your standings check. We move now to what is the upcoming series of the week here. And there's some good stuff to look at. Blue Jays and Oilers. It's a bird battle to start things off. Rays at Red Sox. Yankees at Twins. Marlins at Tigers. Nationals at White Sox. Guardians at Rangers, Royals at Mariners, A's at Astros. That's a fun series right there. Astros, take those games. You gotta. Cardinals at Angels, Phillies at Mets, Braves at Cubs is a fun one. Pirates at Brewers could be exciting. Reds at D-backs, Rockies at Padres, and we round things off with the Dodgers and the Giants. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for us here today. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. I hope you guys had a, enjoyable couple of minutes with me here. And I hope you guys have great weeks as a whole. Go and enjoy it. May, almost halfway done. But yeah, thank you everybody so much, and I will see you on Friday.